Everyone, get yourself a cup. You know, press pause. Any old cup will do, but if you have a favorite, I suggest you get your favorite. And get yourself some nice fresh beverage. It really doesn't matter what that beverage is, although I think that water is really optimal, and I suggest that you use water. Okay. Now, if you've got your cups ready, we'll set them out here in front of you. You just have a look at your cup of water and look at your water or your beverage, your drink, and think about, in terms of water, what that water does for us in our bodies, in our world, in our everything. And think about the flow of water. Think about the life-givingness. Think about the healingness. Think about the clarity and the many ways that water can exist. How its versatility, its beauty, its sound, its feeling. And be grateful. Be grateful for every bit of that and whatever else you can think of. And while you do this and you resonate with your beautiful beverage of basically H2O, allow your body to glow and grow too, with that glow and grow of the water. So this reading is about healing, moving forward. Moving forward. Now, I called it a breakout because, you know, that's what's happening, right? For anybody who called to this reading, that's what's happening. And I think what I'm going to do, and it's my first time trying it, so I hope it works out, but I'm going to do a masculine side and a feminine side for this. No, you know what? I'm not going to do a masculine and feminine. What I'm going to do is the sort of my side, their side. Yeah, my side, their side. So you can identify whether it's your my side or your their side, okay? And you can figure out what your other side person side is. Okay, and you know, if this doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. This isn't your reading. Or maybe you need to take a more honest look at yourself and take a look and see if you belong on the other side. Anyway, that's up to you. Okay, so here we go. Back to the cup of water and delicious beauty and life-giving greatness. Within this cup is the magic of life. And with this cup, I invite the healing message from this reading to be absorbed. And we're going to drink this at the end to really take it in your mind and your energy within yourself, the learning, the knowledge, and what you get out of this and how it's going to help you go forward. So here we go. Thank you so much, water. I am ready to receive your blessings, and I'm ready to share with you all that I love. All right. Gonna just move this here. I think that'll be okay. All right. So let's start with I'm not prepared for this idea yet. But let's just do a quick. All right. Source, I thank you so much for always being a part of my every moment, for co-creating with me these beautiful blessings every day, all the time. And I thank you for awakening me and bringing me forward to this point in my life where I can now move forward from a place where I have been so stagnant, where I've been stuck, where I've been in my own head, in my own beliefs of backwardness. But also at the same time, always moving forward in this sense of flow to some degree or another. Feeling like even though it wasn't all right, it wasn't all wrong either. I don't feel like I made a bunch of mistakes. But I feel like it's okay. It's all right. I've learned so much, and I really value what I've learned from every bit of this journey. But that's me, and I know that not everyone feels that same way, and it's very tough. I mean, it took me a long time before I even started to look at things this way now, as deeply as I do. I've always been a spiritual person. I've been a tarot reader for years and years, but I went on hiatus during this relationship. It's been over a decade. And I got lost. And now for just over the last 6 months, I guess you could say, I am found. But I'm not religious, okay? But I've lost spirit, and I really believe in source, and I really believe that connection. I really believe in our basic right and ability to manifest everything that we want. I really think that's the way. I really believe that is it. Okay, so you'll hear me suffering through these little doubts here and there because, I'm not there yet, but I'm working to it because I think that this is magnificent and so feels right and good. Anyway, so I'm grateful for all the lessons. I'm happy to be in my moment. I'm happy to blissfully imagine the future that I want while I just expect it to come, but I don't wait for it. I continue to fill my moments with feeling good about myself, for myself, with myself. And that's my new methodology. So I want to share that with all of you. And at the same time, I want to do this reading. Let's really have a look at the my side, their side, and see how we can apply these principles. And, maybe I can help some other people besides just myself to come out of these scenarios. I just recently realized that I am I've known forever I'm an empath, but about narcissism. So that was kind of a whole new concept. And I highly recommend that if you'd like to know more about that you look up Dr. Ramani, Ramani, on YouTube. She's got everything you could ever want to know about narcissism, and boy, did she open my eyes. So I'm grateful to her for that. But at the same time, she takes a very methodical, doctorly kind of approach, which I deeply, deeply respect. And I can see that she's a spiritual woman, but, you know, she's got to maintain a certain path to bring in this new field in her profession. And I respect everything that she's doing with that immensely. But I think that she's also empathic, but that's beside the point. The thing is, the other side of narcissism is empathy. And that's what readers do, healers, light workers, all that, you know, we're all empaths, right? Empathic. And even people who don't do that profession, so many of us are healers, you know, people in the healing fields, of course, and then teachers and you know, so many of us are like that. Anyway, my thing for a while was very focused on that narcissism, empathy kind of dichotomy. And then I started getting more and more again, because once upon a time I got into Celestine prophecy and the whole synchronicity thing and all of that. And then it sort of faded off, I guess, during this time period of really delving into my helpless empath role. I really, really got heartily involved in that. It was not altogether fun. But it was also a lot of fun, so can't totally knock it. But here we are. I'm moving in a different direction, I guess, or just doing my thing now, taking more care of myself. And that means I'm moving out of this position, of this relationship and this home. And yeah, I got a lot to figure out to make that happen. So hopefully this journey of mine can help you on yours. Okay, so here we go. Thank you, Source, for the message that you'll provide for us, the guidance, the help, the information. All right. So that's us. And that's them. And my deck is upside down. Hang on. Interesting already. I'm considering myself an empath on the my side, just for the record, people. And their side is obviously like the other side, but that doesn't mean that, you know, their side is the guy side. What that means is just the person who played the detached role as opposed to the give too much. So let me maybe establish that. Gave too much was withholding. There, okay, there. So whichever side, you know, whether you were the cold fish or whether you were the sloppy Sally. No, I'm just kidding, okay. So whether you were the one who held back all the time and let everyone else do the work, or let especially your partner do the work, or whether you're the one that did all the work and gave too much to someone who just didn't give anything good enough back, pretty much. Yeah, that's the real bones there, people. I'm just going to say it like it is. I am the truth seeker after all. This is my mission. So here we go. 10 of Pentacles. That's incredible abundance, isn't it? I mean, that's some good stuff. That's all the giving. That's all the love. That's all the true love. Really believing in the long haul and sharing and just, you know, really going for the gusto. And their side, now look at this. That's no small shakes, the Magician. But, you know, you can also see that they're a little quick and they're a little tricky, right? They know a lot more than they ever let on to, and they're certainly manipulating or managing things. Now, you could look at that as someone who's a manifester, which is what we're all aiming to do, right? I think we should be anyway. But they're doing it without being connected to their higher self. So that's a pretty big skill. But a weird one, because it's not good. But that's what makes some bad people so powerful. Somehow. I'd like to examine that further sometime. But anyways, I digress. So, okay. So they gave too much. Look at that. Like, full of all those hopes and dreams. Like, that's good, wholesome giving. And over here, that was some very talented sidestepping of emotional investment, I have to say. Okay. Okay. Now, what do we most want to know right now? What do we most want to know? What's our next best move? In dealing, what is our best possible way of connecting? And yes, I say connecting, and I don't mean, getting all intimate again or whatever. I just mean, what is the way that we can communicate and accept everything that we're doing as a forward motion, a truth, and a moving forward to the next truth that we want, and accepting all of the hard stuff as lessons, right? So in doing so, you have to also be grateful for that stuff. And you don't have to. Of course, you can do whatever you like. I just, I think the process works by being thankful for really and truly, not the thankfulness like please and thank you. It's more of a very deep knowing of, yeah, that's right. And I get it. I appreciate that. Like, I really feel like that makes sense. That. Appreciation. I kind of lost track what I was saying there. Okay. Woo! Well, there we go. That got me on track. So my question was, what is our best way to connect with the person that we're dealing with, that we have not yet finished dealing with? And here we have the Fool. The brand new, stepping forward, knowing that you're thankful, not hateful, not angry, not bitter, not upset, not revengeful or vengeful, or, feeling like you gotta withhold, or feeling like you gotta take something, or feeling like you gotta hide something. I know how tempting and hard it is to not feel like that. Whew, trust me. But, yeah, I mean, what the best thing forward here is to accept your responsibility in the role that you are choosing now to walk away from, and to choose and accept the responsibility for the role that you are now already in by walking through and onward. So by doing that, you can't blame their side for everything, can you? I know they're going to blame us for everything because that's their way. Because they typically can't look inward yet. They're just not doing that yet. But they're so smart and they're so in tune. Like, they're really quite, I guess you could say, empathic. If you look at it all like a balance, right? Like, say narcissism on this side, empathy on here, and then picture the pendulum going back and forth, like racism, you know, how they got pushed so far to one end and now they've pushed back so far, you know, and all that stuff is going to eventually balance out. Same with narcissists and empaths, men and women, and so many of the other imbalances that are going on, as we all come to terms with the fact that we are each responsible for our own choices and can choose whatever we want. And that we can just shed all this dogma, all this preconceived, well-intentioned ideas of the past. I don't know. I'm ranting and raving. Holy, this is a reading for getting out of, but this is where I'm at, people. So, good luck. I hope you can understand what I'm going on about here. Oh, you know what else you might look up? I mean, if you want to understand where I'm coming from when it comes to, I mean, there's a lot of sources actually, but the one that's been coming up a lot in the last year or two is Abraham Hicks, who is channeled by Esther Hicks. And basically Abraham Hicks is like this sort of voice of what I have always considered to be the common consciousness. But I just the other day heard it refer to itself as the universal infinite universal intelligence, infinite intelligence. And that's just manifested by humans. Because every time we ask a question, there's instantly an answer out there that we just need to vibrate to. I'm really loving all of this because it just fits so well with so much of the little bits that I've picked up here and there on my own. And it just, I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, so here we are. Yes, the best approach, my dear empaths, for dealing with your favorite narcissist, be they male or female. Okay, so like I said, we're all empathic and we all have a narcissistic side, right? But this is more empathic and this is more narcissistic. Boom. Both sides ideally need to do this, but for sure the empaths are more readily capable of doing it. So our approach is to start afresh, to just say, okay, you know what? Thank you. And of course, the next thing to do is to forgive them, which feels initially to those especially who have never understood this, like you're giving in or something to them. Like you're saying, oh, it's okay that you did that. But what you're really doing, because you're not saying it's okay, it's not even up to you one way or the other whether it's okay for them to do anything. Just like it was never okay for them to say whether it was okay for what we did. Although we let them, didn't we? We sure did. Okay, so our best bet is to just start afresh. To say, you know, I forgive you and thank you. And you know, I've loved you and I will continue to love you like fellow human beings should love fellow human beings. And just move forward, loving yourself, treating yourself the way you want to go. And being innocent, not using any of this stuff to hold you back, right? Because here's the balance. Literally, I love how this comes to the balance point. The zero, the innocence, the fresh start. It's neither here nor there. It's right in the middle. This is so beautiful. Okay. So we need to take on a little more magician action, eh? And they need to take on more of this 10 of Pentacles. So, yeah. And here we find ourselves in the middle, ideally, right? Twin flames, soulmates. if this is the lifetime where you're meant to finally bring it together, you know, this is where you would come together. But right now, that's not where we're at. We are now departing from what I think, because this is the 10 of Pentacles, my friends. We have hit this is the final level of dealing with this. Because look at, these guys were not pipsqueaks in their fields. They were real magicians. Like, they really conjured up a story. They really played it out. I mean, my guy had me going for 14 years. And yes, I had me going too. I wholeheartedly admit that. I'm just saying, I mean, there's a level of commitment to our roles that isn't just, you know, brand new pipsqueak material. Anyway, so, man, you know, if we can forgive and learn, because primarily this is all about the lessons, right? And learn what we can from them to achieve this nice balance spot here. Regardless of whether they do that or not, it doesn't matter. But, you know, hopefully they are smart. They're definitely smart, intelligent, wonderful people on many levels, these guys. They're just not full of looking into their depth. That's all. And if they just would, oh my goodness, if they could just see the magicians that they are, imagine. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm talking mostly to my sides. I wanted to do a more fair thing, but I'll be honest, it's difficult. I'm doing my best. Look, I'm trying to find my middle. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let's find some. This is the way to deal with this person. To find yourself smoothing a way out of your scenario. Treat them fairly. Don't try to hide stuff. Don't try to take stuff. Don't try to talk shit behind their back. And you know what? You know they're probably talking shit behind your back. You know they're probably trying to hide stuff from you. You know they've taken some things. But you know what? It's not your worry. It's like anytime anybody takes something, let them have it. Just let them have it. The universe is going to sort that out. And you know what? I think that if someone is just desperate enough to take something, then they really probably needed that more. And they should have it. I don't know. That's just me. But, yeah. What was my point? Oh, yeah. I guess it's basically about turning the other cheek, my friends. Just turning the other cheek. But that's not weakness. That is strength. That is true strength. To stay yourself. To be true to your being good to yourself. To being true to your positive journey of believing and looking forward to all the things that you love and being in that loving space of glowing into yourself, you know. And allow others their journey, you know. They learned from you, whether they can see it right now or not. Eventually, they will. It's okay. And if it's not this life, it'll be another life. And all that matters really in this stage of the game is that, you know, for this purpose of this moment, is that you have learned what you have learned. And you can use that in any way you wish for yourself, right? Now, I know for myself through other readings that my connection to this person has been a real sort of twin flame adventure. Like, we were meant to meet up and we were meant to, you know, learn this stuff, go through this crazy parcel of life, this section of joy and madness and everything in between. Yeah, so probably many of you also feel the same way. You know, like, whether it's a small couple of lessons or whether it's, like me, a many brutal lessons in a row. You know, cushioned by all kinds of wonderful, fun times. I don't know. I don't know how. It's just madness, really. But all right, Source. This is getting long. I've been going on and on here. What do you want to tell their side about my side? Huh. Okay. So, Eight of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. Well, basically, Source wants to say to these guys, to their side, look, you know, this was a place you could offer your cup. This was a very safe and wonderful place that you could offer your cup. And it's too bad that you couldn't open up enough to do that. But you know, if you work really hard, you could get there. You could look inside yourself and you could figure it out. You could really try and figure it out. You've had time to see how this person operates. You've had time to see their methods. You've had time to see that they're good people. And that, you know, maybe you've taken advantage and, you know, maybe you felt like you had cause for that because shit has gone down in your life. Stuff has left you feeling like, well, you know, people suck. And it's all everyone for themselves, you know? And in a world like that, it's very hard. You can't trust people. You just can't trust anyone. You don't even trust yourself because you spent so much time doing what you felt like you had to do, not really what you wanted to do. So you kind of lost some touch with what you want to do. You know, you can look at this like this is Spirit offering you the chance to take your cup from Source now, to look within, to find your own personal cup of Source inside of you, so that you can learn to trust that. And eventually learn to trust everyone outside of you as well. You know, the ones you resonate with, which you'll eventually understand once you get in touch with this. It's going to take a little time and effort. It's going to take some looking into yourself. It's going to take some real truth seeking, some honesty, and some, you know, basically really some writing, some activities to test out some stuff and see how you feel about it and work through it. Some measuring, some from where you've been and where you've gone to and what you saw and what you know. Getting into your core so you can feel this Source glow center that is being offered to you, that is there right now, just waiting for you. Well, that's what Source has for you. Take a journey on the inside. Whatever way you see fit, people. I suggest you write about it and you be very honest. There's just no other way to be. All right, now Source, what do you have to say to my side? What advice, what would you have us know? What do we need to do? What advice do you give us on my side? What's next? What do we need to know? Thank you, Source, so much for this. Woo! Okay. All right. On my side, empaths gave too much, people. Moving forward at this level, passing the level, moving on up, people. Moving on up to the east side. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, okay, so we are now kings and queens. Queen of Pentacles. King of Wands. We are the givers, the receivers, the doers, the provers, the lovers, the believers, the growers, the makers, the producers. Ah, what heavenly bliss. And now that we're here, guess who we meet? People like us. Woohoo! I'm so excited. This is wonderful. So, okay. But you know, no buts. No buts. Okay? So what I'm saying, wow. I'm so happy for us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. My fellow kings and queens, welcome to the next echelon. Welcome to the vortex of your own loving intentions for yourself. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for all of us. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I feel like dancing. Okay. All right, okay. So now, can we find out like an immediate sort of how's this gonna come to an end? How do we move forward? What? Okay, their side next. Where are they likely, most likely? Where are most of their side people likely to end up here? What's their next step? Now, hopefully, you know, if they've taken these steps, but then I wonder, are they likely to take those steps? I think at this level, they must be. They must be ready to move on into the level where you start working on these real pentacles here. Because, like, they're 8 of Pentacles and the Magician, right? That's some stuff. That is some stuff. And Spirit is right there. Source is right there. Always. Inside of every one of us, right? All the time. So they just need only look within. Okay, so what's next for their side? Eight of Cups. They are moving on. They're going to embrace moving on. That is excellent news. Oh, that is so good. Now they are looking a little, I guess you could say, here, this might be getting a little low here. That's probably the limit. Okay, so 8 of Cups for their side. Next thing, they're going to move forward. They're going to be moving on. And it's going to feel a little solo. It's going to feel a little lonely because you guys are just not used to caring about what other people feel and how your behavior impacts them and those feelings. And it's probably going to push you into a little spell of, you know, walking away from folks. And you know what? I say, I think that's probably a good idea. It's probably a real good idea to just take some time and look inside and see what you can figure out about that. I'm so proud of you guys for coming this far. I really am. And I'm so grateful for everything that you did that helped me learn. Okay, so next steps, next way, next idea, next advice from my side. Okay. So it looks like maybe some of us, even though we've attained this queen king status sort of here, and I say sort of because if you look at these cards, you know, we have a little bitterness and regret and crying over spilled and loss and it's sad. It's sad. It's just sad. It's looking backwards. It's going backwards. It's looking at what we don't have. It's not what we want for ourselves. And then there's indolence here. Just sitting back, letting it all go to waste. Just sitting there, getting fat, being lazy, imbibing, celebrating, or indulging to forget. So I think I'm maybe a little bit offended, but maybe it's true. Okay, all right, so my side, we have to watch out that we don't start getting bitter and sad or indolent and lazy or, you know, just escapist. We need to really exercise who we are. You know, the stuff that got us to this point, this sort of idea, the decision to get up and be more of ourselves and move forward, right? That is the stuff. That's the stuff we've got to maintain. Don't you let go of that. You hold on to that, but not like a, I don't know. I mean, what I mean is, remember your worth. Continue to love yourselves every minute. Remember to enjoy all your moments. Remember to treat yourself like the king or the queen that you are. And remember that you want only, you know, loving and respectful people in your life who are going to treat you like the king and the queen that you are. And that's what you deserve. You have so much to give, so much to offer. You are good people. You give the shirt off your back. You work hard. You believe in going the distance. You love. You make things beautiful because you know that you appreciate it, that people appreciate it, that it makes life better. These people wanted you in their life because they couldn't look in and get the light. And it's because you were giving off so much light, so much that you weren't absorbing properly, and they were happily siphoning it off, right? Well, now they're starting to have a look at that as they start to see the glimmers within. And what we need to do is love ourselves enough to not look back and worry or miss or regret any of this stuff, because we're going to continue to be grateful. We're going to continue to be appreciative of what we've learned and thankful. I mean, honestly, in an ideal world, I don't know if we'd be friends with these people, but there's no reason not to. Not really. Except that, you know, you don't really want to spend time with someone who's maybe going to try to manipulate you anymore. But that'll just instantly move away from you as you continue to vibrate forward and higher vibrations. They are too, I think. But, you know, they're just not at the same vibration yet. But we can slip, people. We can slip. So let's not get all high and mighty on ourselves. We've got to keep a cool and humble head and heart. That's how we earned this king and queendom. Stay humble, be good, be true and loving to yourselves. All right, now, where in the heck is this going? You know, I may have to do another reading in a few days just to sort of do an update. What do you think? Maybe if you enjoy this or you think I'm talking too much, probably you would. I have a lot to say on all this because I'm pretty excited about the whole energy, manifesting, control of my life. But it's not control, I guess. It's trusting the universe's flow. You know, like I said, I'm working on it. I don't know. I welcome you all to join me on this journey. All right, had a little break there. It just turned off on me. I don't know. Spirit said, okay, that's enough. Okay. Anyway, okay. So I think we're just going to leave it there. And now, to finish off, I want to say to Source and with their water and for all of us, thank you so much. I know you've absorbed the messages. I know you've taken in all of this energy, and now I happily take this energy, this loving, moving forward goodness into myself, ready to move and learn and continue forward and bringing forth more greatness and joy into my life. Cheers, everybody. Drink up. All right. So thanks very much. And subscribe, like, share. That would be great. And donate. That's going to help me get out of here. Sorry. I mean, it'll also help me do more of this. So, all right, guys. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.